Nintendo 3DS End User License Agreement. This is an important agreement that applies to your use of the Nintendo 3DS system and network services. Please scroll down. If you're under the age of 18, stop! You must get your parent or legal guardian to read and accept this agreement. Nintendo 3DS End User License Agreement. Last updated October 6, 2014. This is an agreement between you and Nintendo of America Incorporated, together with its affiliates Nintendo, or we, or us, or our, that describes your rights to use the Nintendo network services and the software. When using the network services and software, you must abide by this Nintendo 3DS End User License Agreement and all other applicable rules, policies, and notices that are posted on the Nintendo website or in the Nintendo eShop, collectively, the agreement. By using or accessing a Nintendo device or the network services, or by agreeing to this agreement in the user interface of a Nintendo device, you are agreeing to be bound by the terms of this agreement. Please read this agreement carefully. If you do not agree to the terms of this agreement, you may not use any of the network services or software. For the purposes of this agreement, affiliates means entities that control or are controlled by or are under common control with Nintendo of America Incorporated. Content provider means the party that grants a license to digital content, which may be us, a third-party application provider, or a third-party game publisher. Digital content means digitized electronic content made available to you through the network services or that is compatible with and authorized by us for use in connection with the network services, such as games, videos, music, images, text, applications, and any updates, replacements, or add-on content associated with any of the foregoing. Network account means an account that you create and maintain for your use of certain network services that require an account as permitted herein. Network services means those services we offer to you from time to time from a Nintendo device, a personal computer, other devices authorized by Nintendo, or online, and may include without limitation the Nintendo eShop, access to or delivery of digital content or related software, applications, support services, access to third-party services, and access to or use of a network account, or of information, data, and other materials relating to any of the foregoing, and any additional terms and conditions under which each of the foregoing are provided. Nintendo device means a Nintendo branded device that we authorize for use with the network services. Nintendo eShop means the shopping services we make available as part of the network services that may be accessed through a Nintendo device, or through any other methods or devices that we may authorize for such access for purchasing or otherwise acquiring a license to digital content and for purchasing other items that we offer from time to time. Nintendo website means our websites, including those having homepages located at www.nintendo.com and www.nintendo.net. Third-party services means the services, applications, software, and data that are made available by third parties through the network services. User content means text, images, audio, video, reviews, or other content that you create or is licensed to you that may be accessible and viewable by the public or other Nintendo Network Service users. And user manual means the information manuals that we make available to you on your Nintendo device and at support.nintendo.com, or that we make accessible to you through the network services or other methods, including any updates to those manuals that we may post from time to time. 1. Software license. You may use the software, content, and data that came with your Nintendo 3DS or that is compatible with and authorized for use on your Nintendo 3DS, including any updates or replacement to that software, content, or data that we or our authorized providers make available to you, collectively, the software, subject to the terms of this EULA. The software is licensed, not sold to you solely for your personal, non-commercial use on your Nintendo 3DS. You may not publish, copy, modify, reverse engineer, lease, rent, decompile, or disassemble any portion of the software, or bypass, modify, defeat, tamper with, or circumvent any of the functions or protections of your Nintendo 3DS unless otherwise permitted by law. The Nintendo 3DS handheld video game system and accessories, the software, and any services available using the Nintendo 3DS, collectively the Nintendo 3DS system, are constantly evolving, and we may update or change your Nintendo 3DS system in whole or in part without notice to you. Such updates or changes may be required for you to play new Nintendo 3DS games, enjoy new features, or continue to access Nintendo 3DS services. After your Nintendo 3DS system is updated or changed, any existing or future unauthorized modification of the hardware or software of the Nintendo 3DS system, or the use of an unauthorized device in connection with your Nintendo 3DS system will render the system permanently unplayable. Content obtained through the unauthorized modification of the hardware or software of the Nintendo 3DS system will be removed. You agree not to use your Nintendo 3DS system in an unlawful manner or to access the system's devices, accounts, or data of others, including Nintendo, without their or our consent. 2. Network services. Nintendo grants you a personal, non-exclusive, non-transferable, revocable license, subject to the terms of this agreement, to use the network services as permitted under this agreement solely on a non-commercial basis. You are responsible for any fees or other charges that arise out of your use of the network services, such as charges associated with use of the Nintendo eShop or third-party services. The network services may only be used within the United States, Canada, and certain other countries located in the Americas. The network services may not work outside of those countries. By using the network services outside of those countries, or by designating one of those countries as your region on a Nintendo device or website, you are agreeing to be bound by the terms of this agreement. Certain of the network services may not be available to you due to legal or technical limitations or your Nintendo device settings. Please refer to the user manual for more information on setting up and using the network services that are available to you. The network services may permit you to transfer some or all of your data, information, account balances, and digital content between Nintendo devices that you own or between your network accounts. Please refer to the user manual for more information on this feature. 3. Your network account. A network account may be required for use of certain network services. You must provide complete, accurate information when creating your network account, and revise this information as needed to keep it up to date. Parental consent is required for the creation of a network account and for the use of the network services by a child under the age of 13. Instructions for providing parental consent are provided during the network account setup process. Please review the Nintendo Privacy Notice located after the end of this agreement on a Nintendo device, as well as on Nintendo.com for more details regarding our privacy practices. Your network account is personal to you. You may not transfer, assign, or sell your network account to others. You should protect your network account against unauthorized access for you or use by others, for example, by keeping your network account password in a secure location. Please notify us immediately if you become aware of any unauthorized access or use of your network account. Remove any information relating to your network account from your Nintendo device before selling, transferring, or sharing your Nintendo device with others. Please refer to the user manual for instructions on information removal. You are responsible for ensuring that your network account is used, whether by you or by others, only as permitted by this agreement. This includes use of your network account to access or use the network services. Use of your network account in violation of this agreement may result in suspension or termination of your network account and your ability to use the network services, and may also result in termination of this agreement. You may cancel your network account at any time. If you cancel your network account, you will lose access to any data, information, or account balance that is associated with that network account. Please refer to the user manual for information on how to cancel your network account and for more information. 4. User content. You own your user content, but by entering into this agreement, you grant to Nintendo a worldwide royalty-free, irrevocable, perpetual, non-exclusive, and sub-licensable license to use, reproduce, modify, adapt, publish, translate, distribute, perform, and display user content that you post or provide in whole or in part, and to incorporate your user content in other works, in any form, media, or technology now known or later developed, including for promotional or marketing purposes. Nintendo takes no responsibility and assumes no liability for any user content posted, stored, or uploaded by you or any third party, or for any loss or damage thereto, nor is Nintendo liable for any mistakes, defamation, slander, libel, omissions, falsehoods, obscenity, pornography, or profanity you may encounter. Your use of any Nintendo device or network services is at your own risk. As a provider of interactive services, Nintendo is not liable for any statements, representations, or user content provided by our users. You also consent and agree that Nintendo may access, use, monitor, disclose, or preserve information associated with your use of the network services, including without limitation your personal information and user content, or information that Nintendo acquires about you through your use of a Nintendo device or network service when Nintendo forms a good faith belief that doing so is necessary, A, to comply with applicable law, or to respond to legal process from competent authorities, B, to enforce this agreement or protect the rights of property rights of Nintendo, its users, or the public, C, to help prevent a loss of life or serious physical injury to anyone, or D, prevent potentially illegal or offensive activities. 5. Shopping services. You may establish and maintain an account balance for purchasing items we offer and sell in the Nintendo eShop. That account balance is associated solely with your network account, is subject to balance and usage limits or restrictions that we may impose from time to time, and may not be transferred to third parties. That account balance may not be used to purchase items that are offered or sold by others, or that are sold outside of the Nintendo eShop. Please refer to the user manual for more information about the Nintendo eShop features. You are responsible for any purchases, downloads, or other content acquisitions made using your network account in Nintendo eShop. Nintendo eShop purchases are non-refundable and non-transferable unless otherwise stated in the terms posted for a specific offer or required by law. Digital content is licensed, not sold, from the content provider to you solely for your personal non-commercial use on your Nintendo device, or as we permit through the network services subject to the terms of this agreement and any additional terms posted for that digital content item in the Nintendo eShop, and subject to your payment in full for that digital content. Digital content licenses that are purchased through your Nintendo account and downloaded to a Nintendo device may be available for access and use through other Nintendo accounts on that Nintendo device. Nintendo eShop may support other network services, such as services that allow you to access, view, or download digital content to your Nintendo device, to review other items that may be purchased in connection with a Nintendo device or the network services, to review your purchase history, or, if supported on your Nintendo device, to use points to make purchases in the Wii Shop during operation in Wii-compatible mode. 6. Third-party services. We are not responsible for any third-party services you elect to access or use, and we are not responsible for any charges or other liabilities that arise out of your use of third-party services. Third-party services are not reviewed or monitored by us and are subject to separate third-party terms and conditions associated with such third-party services. Nintendo's privacy notice does not apply to third-party services. You access and use third-party services solely at your own risk. 7. Use of information. We may collect, use, and disclose personal information that A. You provide to us, B. We collect automatically, and C. We receive from other sources. Please refer to Nintendo's privacy notice located after the end of this agreement on the Nintendo device, as well as on Nintendo.com for information on how we collect, use, and disclose information from our users. The Nintendo privacy notice applies to all of our products, services, and websites, including the network services. We recommend that you review Nintendo's privacy notice before each use of the network services or a Nintendo device or website to help you stay informed of our privacy practices. 8. Code of Conduct. To help keep the network services friendly and safe for all users, you will not engage in any harmful, illegal, or otherwise offensive conduct, such as A. Misrepresenting, impersonating, abusing, stalking, threatening, or harassing any person or company such as other users, us, or our employees, representatives, moderators, or contractors. B. Engaging in any discriminatory, defamatory, hateful, harassing, abusive, obscene, threatening, physically dangerous, or otherwise objectionable conduct in connection with a Nintendo device or the network services. C. Making, disseminating, sharing, or playing an unauthorized copy of games, music, or images on a Nintendo device or the network services. This activity is illegal. D. Making new versions of digital content or a Nintendo device. E. Trying to modify or gain unauthorized access to another person's Nintendo device or network account, or trying to modify, reverse engineer, or gain unauthorized or automated access to any of Nintendo's computers, hardware, software, or networks used to provide a network services or any feature of a Nintendo device. F. Cheating in the game, unless such cheats have been deliberately enabled by the content provider. G. hosting, intercepting, emulating, reverse engineering, or redirecting the communication protocols used by Nintendo as part of a Nintendo device or the network services, regardless of the method used to do so, or do anything that might bypass or circumvent measures employed to prevent or limit access to any area, content, or code of any Nintendo device or network services, except as otherwise expressly permitted by law. H. Developing any third-party applications that interact with user content and the network services without a prior written consent. I. Engaging in any commercial activity using a Nintendo device or the network services, or any other activity that disrupts, diminishes the quality of, interferes with the performance of, or impairs the functionality of a Nintendo device, the network services, or any third-party services. J. Using any robot, spider, crawler, scraper, or other automated means or interface not provided by us to access or extract data from any Nintendo device or network services. Or K. Uploading, posting, emailing, transmitting, or otherwise making available 1. Any content or data that you do not have a legal right to make available. 2. Any content or data that infringes any patent, trademark, trade secret, copyright, or other intellectual property or proprietary right of any party. 3. Any unsolicited or unauthorized advertising or promotional materials. 4. Content or the data of which have disguised the origin. 5. Viruses, corrupted data, or other harmful, disruptive, or destructive files. 6. Content or data that contains private information of any third party, including without limitation, names, addresses, email address, or credit card information. Or 7. Content or data that is obscene, is unlawful, violates this agreement, or is prohibited from publication in your jurisdiction. 9. Reservation of rights and interests. The network services are provided to you on a limited license basis and are not sold to you. Other than your limited license to use the network services as expressly provided in this agreement, we retain all right, title, and interests in and to the network services, including without limitation all associated patent, copyright, and trademark rights, and all other proprietary or intellectual property rights of any kind in any country. 10. Disclaimer of warranties and limitation of liability. Use of the network services and the third-party services is at your sole risk. No oral or written information or advice given by Nintendo or its representatives creates a warranty. The network services are provided as if without warranty of any kind. Nintendo disclaims all warranties with respect to the network services and third-party services expressed or implied, including without limitation any warranty of non-infringement or the implied warranties of merchantability and fitness for a particular purpose. To the maximum extent permitted by law, Nintendo will not be liable to you for any special or consequential damages of any kind arising out of their regulating to your access, use, misuse, or inability to use the network services or any third-party services. Even if Nintendo has been advised of the possibility of such damages. In any case, Nintendo's aggregate liability to you in connection with any claims arising out of or relating to the network services and the third-party services is limited to the amount you actually pay for the network services that are the subject of such claim. If a law restricts our ability to limit liability or disclaim warranties, the limitations listed above may not apply to you. In that case, we limit our liability and disclaim warranties to the greatest extent permitted by law. 11. Indemnity. If we or any of our affiliates, licensees, licensors, or contractors are subject to any actual or threatened claims, costs, damages, losses, or other liabilities, collectively covered losses as a result of your use of any of the network services, digital content, a Nintendo device, or any data, information, or other item you make available through the network services or a Nintendo device, including user content, did you agree to indemnify us and our affiliates, licensees, licensors, contractors, and employees from all such covered losses and any related costs, such as reasonable attorney's fees. 12. Feedback. Separate and apart from user content, you can generally submit questions, comments, suggestions, ideas, plans, notes, drawings, original or creative materials, or other information or materials about Nintendo and the network services. Feedback. Feedback, whether submitted through the network services or otherwise, is non-confidential and shall become the sole property of Nintendo. We shall own exclusive rights, including all intellectual property rights, in and to such feedback, and shall be entitled to the unrestricted use and dissemination of this feedback for any purpose, commercial or otherwise, without acknowledgement or compensation to you. 13. Dispute resolution, binding individual arbitration, class action waiver. A. Our Consumer Service Department is available to address any concerns you may have regarding your network account or the network services. You may contact them by phone at 1-800-255-3700, by email at useragreement@noa.nintendo.com, or by regular mail sent to Nintendo of America Incorporated, ATTN User Agreement 4600 115th Avenue, NE, Redmond, Washington 98052, USA. Most matters are quickly resolved this matter to our customer satisfaction. Any matter we are unable to resolve and all disputes or claims arising out of or relating to this agreement, including its formation, enforceability, performance, or breach, each a claim, with the exception of the matters described in Section 14C below, shall be finally settled by binding arbitration administered by the American Arbitration Association in accordance with the provisions of its commercial arbitration rules and the supplementary procedures for consumer-related disputes of the American Arbitration Association, the AAA, excluding any rules or procedures governing or permitting class actions. The arbitrator, and not any federal, state, or local court or agency, shall have exclusive authority to resolve all claims. The arbitrator shall be empowered to grant whatever relief will be available in the court under law or in equity. The arbitrator's award shall be binding on the parties and may be entered as a judgment in any court of competent jurisdiction. The parties understand that absent this mandatory provision, they would have the right to sue in court and have a jury trial. They further understand that in some instances, the cost of arbitration could exceed the cost of litigation, and the right to discovery may be more limited in arbitration than in court. Any such arbitration shall be conducted by the parties in their individual capacities only, and not as a class action or other representative action, and the parties waive their right to file a class action or seek relief on a class basis. If any court or arbitrator determines that the class action waiver set forth in the preceding sentence is void or unenforceable for any reason, or that an arbitration can proceed on a class basis, then the arbitration provision set forth in this section 13 shall be deemed null and void in its entirety, and the parties shall be deemed to have not agreed to arbitrate claims. B. The rules governing the arbitration may be accessed at www.adr.org or by calling the AAA at +1 800 778 7879. To the extent the initial filing fee for the arbitration exceeds the initial filing fee for a lawsuit, we will pay the difference in fees. If the arbitrator finds the arbitration to be non-frivolous, we will pay all of the actual filing and arbitrator fees for the arbitration, provided your claim is less than $75,000. The arbitration rules also permit you to recover attorney's fees in certain cases. C. Section 14A does not apply to any claim, 1. in which a party is attempting to protect its intellectual property rights, such as its patent, copyright, trademark, trade secret, or moral rights, but not including its privacy or publicity rights, or 2. that may be brought in small claims court. D. 30-day right to opt out. You have the right to opt out of the provisions of this Section 13 by sending written notice of your decision to opt out to the following address: Nintendo of America, Inc., ATTN CS Admin 4600 115th Avenue, NE, Redmond, Washington 98052, within 30 days of creating your network account. Your notice should include your account number. If you send this notice, then Section 13 will not apply to either party. If you do not send this notice, then you agree to be bound by this Section 13. 14. General. A. Breach, termination, survival. This agreement will automatically terminate if you do not comply with this agreement. Upon any such termination, you must immediately cease all use of the network services. Sections 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 13, and 14 of this agreement will remain in effect following any such termination. B. Changes to network services, delivery of network services. We may modify, cancel, or suspend the availability of the network services in whole or in part at any time without notice to you. We may involve affiliates or third parties in the delivery of the network services or in the performance of our obligations under this agreement. C. Enforcement, non-waiver, non-assignment. If any part of this agreement is held to be invalid or unenforceable, that part will no longer apply to the parties and will be replaced by an enforceable provision that most closely reflects the original intent of the parties, but all other parts of the agreement will remain in effect unless otherwise provided in this agreement. Our failure to insist upon or enforce your strict compliance with this agreement will not constitute a waiver of any of our rights. You may not assign your rights or interests under this agreement to any other person. D. Governing law. The laws of the state of Washington, USA, without regard to its conflict of laws provisions, will govern this agreement and any dispute of any sort that might arise between you and Nintendo. E. Venue. If Section 13 is held to be invalid or unenforceable, then for any claims, the parties consent to the exclusive jurisdiction of the courts located in King County, Washington, USA. F. No third-party beneficiaries. This agreement is for the benefit of and will be enforceable by the parties only. It is not intended to confer any right or benefit on any third party or to create any obligations to any such third party. G. Changes to terms. We may change the terms of this agreement at any time without notice. A current version of this agreement, including any changes, is posted at support.nintendo.com for your convenience. If you do not agree to any changes to this agreement, you must cancel your network account and discontinue use of the network services. H. Notices. To contact our Consumer Service Department regarding this agreement, you may 1. Send an email to useroagreement@noa.nintendo.com. 2. Send a letter to Nintendo of America Incorporated, ATTN User Agreement, 4600 115th Avenue, NE, Redmond, Washington 98052 USA, or free, call toll-free 1-888-977-7627. Your communications with our Consumer Service Department will not constitute legal notice but required by the agreement or by law. For all other legal matters, you must contact or notify us in writing at Nintendo of America Incorporated, ATTN General Counsel, 4600 115th Avenue, NE, Redmond, Washington 98052. We may notify you regarding this agreement by 1. Email at the address associated with your network account, or 2. Through posted messages on the Nintendo eShop, the Nintendo website, or other locations that we specify to you from time to time. These notices will be effective as of the date of the delivery or posting. Please be sure to keep the email address associated with the network account up to date. I. Notices and procedure for making claims of copyright infringement. Nintendo respects the intellectual property of others, and we ask users of Nintendo products and services to do the same. If you feel that your intellectual property rights have been infringed, please visit www.nintendo.com/IP-policy to read our full policy and to submit a takedown request. End of Nintendo 3DS End User License Agreement. Nintendo Privacy Notice. Last updated July 2nd, 2015. Nintendo knows that privacy is important to you. This privacy notice describes how we collect, use, disclose, store, and protect your information. By using a Nintendo product or service, you're accepting the practices described in this privacy notice. 1. Your information. Information you provide to us. We collect information that you provide to us when you use our products and services or anytime you're in contact with us. Some types of information you may provide include registration information that you may be required to provide when you sign up to use our services, including your name, address, telephone number, and email address. Login information that you use to sign into our services, such as your username and password. Demographic information about you, including your age, gender, hobbies, interests, and country of residence. Payment information that you submit, including your credit card number, expiration code, and credit card security code, were needed to complete a transaction you have initiated. Messages, photos, videos, drawings, audio recordings, and other information shared by you through the interactive features of our products and services. Correspondence you send directly to us, and information you provide to us offline through, for example, regular mail, in-person sweepstakes entry forms, and consumer service transactions such as repairs, part orders, and direct purchases. Information we collect automatically. We collect some information automatically when you use our products and services. Some types of information we collect automatically include information about your use of our products, services, and websites, including your browser type, operating system, platform, IP address, MAC address, language, and region. Information about websites you've visited before and after visiting our websites, search queries that landed you on our websites, search queries that you conducted on our websites, and pages and advertisements you viewed and links you clicked on while using our websites. Information about your Nintendo device, including device serial number, device ID, wireless access point, and other technical information about your device. And information about your gameplay, online status, use of our online services, friends and friend codes, purchases, and other information about your interactions with our products and services. Information we receive from other sources. We may receive information about you from other sources, including through third-party services and retailers. Some examples of information we may receive from other sources include navigation data, including websites visited and advertisements viewed or clicked, information about consumer device transactions, and purchase information. Please note that we may add information we receive from other sources to the information we already know about you. We also may combine your information with information about other users, including gameplay, demographics, search term, clickstream, and purchase information, and use this combined information in an aggregated format. 2. Cookies, web beacons, log files, and third-party partners. In order to collect some of the information described above, we may use web beacons, cookies, log files, and similar technologies in some of our products and services, including our emails. Web beacons. We may use web beacons, also referred to as pixel trackers or clear GIFs, which are small graphic images placed on a web page or on a web-based document or in an email message. Web beacons are designed to collect certain user information and monitor certain user activity. Information collected by web beacons might include your IP address, MAC address, or the URL of the page you came from, or your interactions with our website or an email message we sent to you. We may use the information collected through web beacons, for example, to determine how to improve certain products and services by identifying popular web pages, services, features, and products, to personalize our products and services, to make recommendations for products and services, and to complete transactions that you have requested. Cookies. We may use cookies, which are unique identifiers that are sometimes placed on your device to record data about your visits to our website, so that the site can recognize your device and personalize your visit. Information collected by cookies may be linked to your transaction history, online gameplay, or other information. We may use information collected by cookies, for example, to determine how to improve certain products and services by identifying popular web pages, services, features, and products, to personalize our products and services, to make recommendations for our products and services, and to complete transactions you have requested. You can set certain browsers to reject cookies or to notify you when you are sent a cookie. However, not utilizing cookies may prevent you from using certain functions and features of our products and services. Log files. We maintain log files which record activity related to the use of our products and services, such as the number of hits a particular web page has received, the type and quality of a user's internet connection, the type of hardware and/or software used to access a particular service, which features of a service are used, and the frequency of use. The entries within these log files may include, for example, your IP addresses, MAC addresses, cookie information, device ID, transactional data, device settings, and download activity. We may use these log files, for example, to monitor traffic on our website, to facilitate use of certain services, and to troubleshoot technical problems. Third-party partners. We also may permit our third-party partners to set cookies, web beacons, and similar technologies on our websites, or with an email sent on our behalf to help us perform various internal functions necessary to operate our business. These third parties may also use these cookies and web beacons and other technologies to collect information about your visits to our websites and elsewhere on the internet, and may use the information during or after your visits to our websites to provide you advertisements across the internet about goods and services that may be of interest to you. Some of these third parties may offer you a way to opt out of this type ad targeting through interesting choice mechanisms. To learn more about third parties that participate in these choice offering and to exercise choices that may be available to you, you can visit www.networkadvertising.org and www.aboutads.info. 3. Use of information. We may use your information in order for us, our affiliated companies, or our third-party partners to 1. Fulfill your requests for products, services, and information, including to send you commercial and non-commercial messages and to process orders you have placed. 2. Contact you with connection with our products and services, including for marketing and promotional purposes. 3. Facilitate your use of our products, services, and websites. 4. Enable your participation in online games, contests, sweepstakes, surveys, public forums, and other features offered through our products, services, and websites. 5. Make recommendations and customize the content, features, and advertising available through our products, services, and websites and on others' websites. 6. Set up repair orders and respond to consumer service inquiries. 7. Provide backend services, including system updates, system messages. 8. Provide free games, applications, trials, and other content. 9. Analyze and facilitate the use of our products, services, and websites. 10. Facilitate demographic studies. 11. Understand, improve, and develop our products, services, and websites. 12. Prevent potentially illegal or offensive activities. 13. Enforce our rights or the rights of our users. 14. Verify your identity and prevent fraudulent transactions. And 15. For any other purposes disclosed to you at the time we collect your information or pursuant to your consent. 4. Disclosure of information. At times, we may make certain information that we collect available to our affiliate companies, to our third-party partners, to our other Nintendo users, to the general public, and for other legal and business purposes. For example, Nintendo affiliates. We may share information with other Nintendo affiliated companies that use it consistent with this privacy notice. Third parties. We may share information with our third-party partners to help us perform various functions necessary to operate our business or fulfill your requests. For example, helping you process your downloads or purchases and developing and executing marketing campaigns. We also may share such information to, for example, complete your transactions, provide you with advertising and other promotional materials, and assist in the creation of user accounts with third parties. Other users and friends. We may share information including, for example, your username, me profile information, online status, me greeting, and other gameplay information with other Nintendo users when you use the online features of our products and services. General public. When you use some of our online services, for example, when you play games online or post to Miiverse, your username, nickname, user profile, and certain gameplay information may be displayed on the internet and be seen by the general public. Local communications. Some Nintendo devices have local communication features that can be activated by you. These features allow some of your information to be automatically collected by and shared with us and with other Nintendo users. These features also allow us and other Nintendo users to automatically contact and interact with you. When these features are enabled by you, you may receive information about and communications from other Nintendo users, and you may also receive advertising and promotional materials from Nintendo and its third-party partners. You may disable these local communication features at any time through the system settings on your Nintendo device. Legal and business purposes. We may disclose your information in order to comply with legal process, to respond to claims or inquiries, or to protect the rights, property, or personal safety of Nintendo, our users, or the public. Your information may also be disclosed as part of any sale or transfer of company assets if legally permitted. You are responsible for any information that you share with others through use of our products, services, and websites. Please be aware that other users may be able to store, modify, or share with third parties information that you provide to them. 5. Linking accounts. We may offer you an account for one or more of our loyalty programs, including Club Nintendo, so that you have the opportunity to receive personalized content and participate in a variety of activities, promotions, and programs. Within certain parameters, you may be able to link your Nintendo device or network account to your loyalty account. In such circumstances, we will use your information to, for example, automatically register your purchases in your loyalty account so that you have the opportunity to receive rewards and promotions. You may unlink these accounts in the settings section of the Nintendo eShop. 6. Third parties. You may disclose your information to third parties when you use our products and services in order to play third-party games, use third-party applications or plugins, view third-party advertisements, or visit third-party websites. We are not responsible for the privacy practices of these third parties, and we recommend that you review their privacy policies before submitting any information. 7. Attention parents or legal guardians, protecting children's privacy. In accordance with the applicable law, we obtain consent from parents for the collection of personal information from their children. You can find information about how we collect, use, and disclose personal information from our users, including children under the age of 13, in the sections above titled Your Information, Use of Information, Disclosure of Information. You may review and have deleted the personal information we have collected from your child, and you may refuse to permit our further collection or use of your child's personal information by contacting a Nintendo Privacy Administrator via email at privacypolicy@noa.nintendo.com, by phone at 1-888-977-7627, or by regular mail at Nintendo of America Incorporated, ATTN Nintendo Privacy Administrator, 4600 115th Avenue, NE, Redmond, Washington 98052, USA. Before responding to a request to review personal information collected from your child, we may require that you follow reasonable procedures to help verify your identity as the child's parent or legal guardian. We may deny any request that fails to follow these procedures. If If you choose to have your child's personal information deleted or refuse to permit further collection or use of your child's personal information, certain features of our products and services may be limited or unavailable. Please note that third-party game publishers, application providers, and content providers may collect, use, and disclose your child's personal information through our products and services when your child uses third-party services or content. Nintendo is not responsible for the privacy practices of these third parties and would recommend that you review their privacy notices before your child provides or exchanges any personal information through third-party services or content. We strongly recommend that you supervise your child's use of our products and services at all times. You can restrict your children's use of certain features of our products and services by setting up the parental controls on the Nintendo device. For a detailed description of these parental control features, please see the user manual for your Nintendo device. 8. Security. Nintendo uses reasonable measures and has established reasonable safeguards to help protect your information from loss, theft, misuse, and unauthorized access, disclosure, alteration, and destruction. You should understand that no data storage system or transmission of data over the internet or any other public network can be guaranteed to be 100% secure. Please note that information collected by third parties may not have the same security protections as information you submit to us or that we collect, and we are not responsible for protecting the security of such information. If you install unauthorized applications or contents on, or make unauthorized modifications to your Nintendo device or its software, your information may be compromised. Nintendo is not responsible for any collection, use, or disclosure of information from any Nintendo device that has unauthorized modifications or contains unauthorized software or content. 9. Opting out. You may use a Nintendo device without providing us your information. However, some features and applications may not be available to you. You can opt out the collection of certain information by not using our services. You also may be able to opt out of certain types of information collection through your Nintendo device settings, parental controls, or other opt-out mechanisms we make available to you. Certain aggregated technical information about your Nintendo device may still be automatically collected when you or another user of your device connects to the internet. You may opt out of receiving commercial email messages from Nintendo by following the instructions contained in any such email message. 10. Removing information stored on your Nintendo device. Certain information about you may be stored on your Nintendo device. For your protection, before selling, transferring, or otherwise disposing of your Nintendo device, please remove all stored information, including information stored on any of the device's accessories. For instructions on how to remove stored information from your Nintendo device, please see the user manual or visit support.nintendo.com. If you transfer data from one Nintendo device to another using any of our system transfer tools or features, any information about you that is stored on that device will be transferred as part of the process. 11. International users. Any information that you provide or that is collected through use of our products, services, or websites may be stored, processed, and transferred within or to the United States or any other country in which we or our affiliated companies or third-party partners maintain facilities. As a result, it is possible that your information could be accessed by foreign governmental authorities or otherwise in accordance with applicable local laws. By using our US-based website or by designating the United States as the region for your Nintendo device, you consent to the collection, storage, processing, and transfer of your information in and to the United States or other countries and territories pursuant to the laws of the United States. We abide by the US-EU Safe Harbor Framework and the US-Swiss Safe Harbor Framework, as set forth by the US Department of Commerce, regarding the collection, use, and retention of data from the European Economic Area and Switzerland. For more information about the Safe Harbor and to view our certification, visit the US Department of Commerce's Safe Harbor website. 12. Changes to the privacy notice. We may update this privacy notice from time to time. When we update this privacy notice, we will revise the last updated date above. Updates will be posted at support.nintendo.com. We recommend that you review this privacy notice each time you use our products, services, or websites to help you stay informed of our privacy practices. 13. ESRB certification. This privacy notice and the certification seal located on our website confirms that we are a valid licensee and participating member of the Entertainment Software Rating Board's Privacy Certified program. To help protect your privacy, we have voluntarily undertaken this privacy initiative. As a licensee in this privacy certification program, we are subject to frequent audits of our websites and other enforcement and accountability mechanisms administered independently by the ESRB. All of our websites containing the ESRB certification seal have been reviewed and certified by ESRB to meet established online information collection and use practices. 14. Contact us with your privacy questions, comments, or concerns. If you have any questions, complaints, or comments regarding this privacy notice or any of our privacy practices, please contact the Nintendo Privacy Administrator via email at privacypolicy@noa.nintendo.com, via phone at 1-888-977-7627, or via regular mail at Nintendo of America Incorporated, ATTN Privacy Administrator, 4600 150th Avenue, NE, Redmond, Washington 98052, USA. You may also contact ESRB Privacy Certified via email at privacy@esrb.org or via regular mail at ESRB Privacy Certified ATTN Privacy Certified Program 420 Lexington Avenue, Suite 2024, New York, NY 10017.